Hey everybody, this is Kodak here, and I finally have it! The legendary Blue Lion! I'm sorry this took so long, but as I'm sure a lot of you know, the distribution on these toys has not really been very good, because while a lot of the stores received several copies of the Black Lion, most of them were sent just one case of the Limb Lions, and the Limb Lion cases only contain one of each of the other lions, so basically, each store made it so that one person could get the full set, but everybody else could only get the Black Lion. And that's not the best thing for business. I mean, Playmates, please try and fix this. And believe me when I say it's not a bad thing to say that we want more of something, because that means we really like it. Although, I will be going to Toy Fair, I will be going to the Playmates booth, and I will get to both talk with them and see what else they're making. And I've heard they've been making, like, full-size figures of the characters, which I'm going to be really excited to take a look at that, so hopefully I'll be able to see that. But first, let's get down to business with the final lion, the legendary Blue Lion. Unfortunately, the Blue Lion is probably the least interesting of the bunch. It doesn't really have any fancy swords or crash armors or shields or anything like that, and it has the same articulation as the Yellow Lion, although it does have a different head, and it, with the headphones kind of like the Red Lion, only unlike the Red Lion, it can actually bop its head to the beat, which is kind of cool. But other than that, the only flexible point is this sort of neck guard up here that's meant to bend up to make it into the foot. Although that does kind of tie into the Blue Lion's gimmick in that it is supposed to be the most user-friendly lion. Yeah, that's the thing they don't let on in Season 1. Although, Season 2, they kind of dumped it all at once. I haven't really had the chance to see it, so no spoilers in the comments, please. And you won't get any spoilers here, but the Blue Lion does have the normal bells and whistles. It has a spring-loaded jaw. It has the flexible hands and feet. It doesn't have a flexible waist, but it does have the long tail. It transforms into the leg exactly the same way as the Yellow Lion, so I'm not really going to go into detail there. Something I didn't notice before is that the lions that tilt their heads forward, such as the Black Lion or the Yellow Lion, can sit down in a fairly nice posture. This is something that the Red and the Green Lions cannot do since their heads only tilt. Of course, this thing can tilt a tiny bit, thanks to the mechanism in its neck that's designed to support the foot. But otherwise, it's pretty basic. Now, the Blue Lion, like the other lions, comes with a weapon, and this is the Ice Ray. Now, to make up for the fact that it doesn't really come with any accessories, the Ice Ray is very, very large and intimidating, and it is still a very basic projectile launcher, but look at the size of this thing. It's not the size of the disc launcher, but it is way bigger than the weapons that the Green and Red Lions get, so they did at least get some spectacle there. So I finally have all 5 of the lions. What am I supposed to do with them now? Wait, I know! Ha! No, wait, that can't be right. Let's form Voltron! Form feet and legs! Form arms and body! And I'll form the head!
Blue Lion, ready for action! Red Lion, ready for battle!
Green Lion, all systems go!
Yellow Lion engaged! Voltron complete!
And here it is, the super huge legendary Voltron all combined and put together. And this guy is enormous. As you can see down here, I have my Dawn figure being used for scale, and my Dawn figure stands at exactly 6 inches tall, so you can see how big that is. Voltron here has a decent amount of articulation. He can bend his head upwards to go into a flying mode, but sadly that's really about all that can do. He can bend at the shoulder, including coming across. To a certain extent, the elbow and the wrist can turn on the arms, as it can on the Red Lion as well. It can kind of cross his arm across his body, thanks to how the elbow can turn, because the elbow joint is it's multi-jointed. It also bends pretty well. It bends all the way up at the shoulder, then partly back. The wrist bends all the way around, and the spring-loaded jaws means that he can do things like hold the Form Blazing Sword. The final Form Blazing Sword, which it grips it pretty solidly. The legs, they bend at the knee right at the lion, which gives you 90 degrees of articulation, although if you also use the knees from the lion, you can actually take it a bit further and bend it all the way around. I don't really see a practical application for this, but it's pretty cool anyway. Of course, if you take him off, you can bend the head forward and have him in a sort of a flying configuration. He's decently flexible. The legs also can pivot inwards and outwards to give him a more stable stance, although the fact that he has to rely on the front legs of the yellow and blue lion can be a bit of a pain, but if you reconfigure his stance a little bit like this, it works pretty well. Although I'm sure one of the big questions is, can this guy do the Obari pose? Not really. I mean, I tried, but the Form Blazing Sword is a one-handed weapon, so there isn't really much to it. I mean, there's still plenty of flexibility. You can get Voltron here in a bunch of really cool poses. I do still wish that he could turn at the head, but otherwise there's plenty of flexibility. This thing can get you plenty of displayability, and it is pretty good for $100. Having all the lions attached also affects what Voltron says in its electronics.
Pinch. Form shield.
My shield can't take much more of this.
You get the voices of the other lions and all sorts of cool things, whereas normally you get just Shiro piloting the Black Lion, but the full and combined Voltron adds so much more fun to this. The voice features are all very, very nice. I love how it's able to recognize the lions and how it's able to change its dialogue accordingly. That is so cool. It really does feel like the sort of robot toy that you get in Japan, like for shows like Power Rangers. So if you're a fan of these types of toys and you like to collect like the Japanese like Zords from overseas, then this is definitely going to be a highlight of your collection. I cannot recommend it enough.
We need to increase firepower.
We got you, buddy.
If it has any problems, it's maybe that the articulation could maybe be a bit better, and while you can mount the weapons for the arm lions, the leg lions unfortunately did not get off so lucky, and you can't equip them on there. I do kind of wish that they had done something with that, like how you in the show you can see them convert the wings into a shield. I wish they could have done that. Or how, like, they were able to shoulder mount the yellow lion's weapons. I do kind of wish you could do that, but it's still pretty good for the price. It is huge. It is good looking, except for maybe some minor paint applications regarding the color white and the fact that the Form Blazing Sword develops scratches a little easily. Otherwise, incredible. The amount of poseability you get is very, very good for a figure of this price range. And considering that, like, other Voltron figures are like $300, this thing is a bargain. I do wish that Playmates was better about the distribution. Sending one case of these lions per store is frankly unacceptable. There needs to be better distribution for these Voltrons. There is definitely demand for them. They are constantly selling out wherever I go. There is huge demand for this Voltron, so I really hope that Playmates, continues to be successful with this franchise. I mean, I imagine they held back a bit on the merchandise because it's a Netflix exclusive series, so we're going to have to see how it does, but I think it's going to do really well with everybody. I really look forward to seeing the toy fair, and yeah, that's the Legendary Voltron. Very, very nice piece, very good looking, and very, very good for the cost. So I highly recommend this if you can find it. It's practically like Hatchimals at this point, so yeah. Until then, this is Kodak signing off.